What's up, Modern fans? I am Bryant Cook, and today we are playing Creative Reanimator, a pretty descriptive name when you think about it. So this deck is combining two other decks, and let's start with Indomitable Creativity. This is a sorcery for X, red, 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 destroy target artifacts or creatures, and then for each permanent destroyed this way, you reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a creature card, put it onto the battlefield, all that good stuff. We're going to hit Archon of Cruelty, the card that Blue-Black Reanimator, Esper Reanimator is based on in Modern. So that's pretty sweet. But then there's this Reanimator deck based on Persist and Unmarked Grave that just gets Archon back. Well, somebody, and I don't know who it was, I'm sorry if you want to take credit, cool. They combined the two decks. They added Persist and Indomitable Creativity into the same deck. No Unmarked Grave, though. But instead we have a bunch of really powerful looting effects. So first we have Prismari Command, which creates treasures for creativity and loots to put the Archon into the graveyard. So it really does everything for us. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, you're probably familiar with this one. The second chapter being a looting. And then Tainted Indulgence. So we have a lot of really good ways to get Archon to the graveyard even without Unmarked Grave. The rest of the deck is mostly interaction. You'll notice there's Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Fire Ice. I mean, we do have some cards to make artifacts or creatures like this Hard Evidence, but we're really looking to use Dwarven Mine and Hard Evidence to create the creatures for Indomitable Creativity. This deck's pretty straightforward. Yes, there's a lot of play to it. I'm not trying to say it's an easy deck, but what we're looking to accomplish is pretty simple. Put Archon of Cruelty onto the battlefield. In the sideboard, we do have an Emrakul. I'm guessing that this is for mill. I don't actually know. I mean, you can just board it in as a huge card that wins the game too, but I don't know exactly why it's in the sideboard. Leyline of the Void, plus a bunch of other interactive pieces. Pretty simple. So that's my short and sweet deck. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. But for now, I just want to hop on in and play some Magic the Gathering. I hope to see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we're on the draw, and I am sorry, I thought I hit the record button, but I was wrong. We've already taken a mulligan. It was triple Archon of Cruelty, 1 land. It was just bad. So we're on our 6-card hand now. I think that this is actually fine. We'll keep and bottom this swamp. One of the few lands in the deck that isn't a mountain for Indomitable Creativity. They play Wooded Foothills and activate it. Sacred Foundry, okay. Goblin Guides, we're facing Burn. I wish that I had a hand that quickly put Archon into play, because this certainly doesn't do that. Hard Evidence, so we get a blocker. That's nice. I don't believe that we have a basic island, though. Alright. So we're drawing the Hard Evidence. We will fetch. And we don't have that island. So we will grab a Steam Vents. Ouch. Play the Hard Evidence and pass the turn. They are fetching with the Wooded Foothills. Lava Spike. Okay. They skewer the critics on my Crab and then attack with Goblin Guide, and we reveal another Hard Evidence. Good deal. Okay. Play the Arid Mesa, just pass the turn after that. One has 4 cards though, and we need to fetch down to 9 life, so we're not safe yet. They grab a mountain and are casting some sort of spell here. Lightning Bolt at me. I am at 7. Eidolon of the Great Rebel, sure thing. They do not attack. Fetch, going to 6 life. grab the lounge. Untap. Draw. Another fetch. I mean, I guess I'll play it and just pass the turn here. I guess if I'm going to... Hold on. So passing the turn, I'm accepting that I'm taking 2 damage off these. If I'm accepting that, I might as well just play Fable the Mirrorbreaker. Alright, so we are now going to our second main. Fetch. So we're going to be at 3, so we're just dead to the top of our opponent's deck. Grab the basic. Ouch. Alright, we trigger. We have a Goblin Shaman. And I mean, we're asking a lot here. We're at 3 life. We need both of the cards in our opponent's hand to not deal damage. It's pretty unlikely. And they're tapping mana, so I assume that I'm dead here. Skullcrack, sure thing. Cool, so we lost game number 1 to Burn. We do have a couple copies of Collective Brutality that will be amazing in the post-board games. We want these copies of Lightning Bolt. We can get rid of Thoughtseize. We don't really need to make ourselves lose more life. That's an even 60 right now. Do we want to consider anything else? I don't think so. I think we just run this back and try to keep a hand with some removal in it this time. Alright, game 2, we're on the play. Good hand, keep. Play Scalding Tarn. Do we want to play the Hard Evidence this turn? I'm not sure. Because I could just fetch a Triome here and not take damage because I don't have a 2-drop. I think I'm going to try to save some damage here. It's a little bit silly because if they lead on Goblin Guide, obviously I get egg on my face or whatever. But if they just go like Burn Spell Go, I look like a genius. And here I'm actually taking the same amount of damage, so it doesn't even matter. Just grab the Lounge. We'll take 1 from the Swift Spear. Draw. Play the Blood Crypt. Hard Evidence. Pass that turn. Bloodstained Mire from the opponent. They're quickly fetching. 2 red. Searing Blaze. Ouch. The best possible card they could have had there. So that hurts. We're falling to 13 life. Draw. Here I'm going to try to get them a little bit. So they're tapped out with a Swift Spear in play. I can use Prismari command to deal 2 damage to it. Grab the mountain. Blue, black, red. We want deal 2 damage and loot. 2 damage. And we'll target us. Discard this Archon of Cruelty and the Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. Maybe I should have made a treasure with the creativity, I'm not sure. Another copy of Swift Spear. A Lava Spike. So I'm going to go to 9 and then they can attack for 2 and I'll be at 7 life. I have to play the Blood Crypt untapped if I'm going to cast creativity. So they'll put me to 5 and then I'll be going up to 8. Another Archon of Cruelty. Okay. Ouch. 5 life. Make a whole bunch of red. Creativity, our clue token. So I get the Archon trigger. They will have to sacrifice their creature, discard a card, lose 3 life, and we'll gain 3 life and draw a card. Fatal Push. So we're not out of the woods yet. We need to be able to untap realistically. If we can untap, I'm feeling pretty good about this, but it's a big if. At the exile, I was not expecting that. Grab our swamp. Okay, so we're not out of this yet. Now we're back at 5 life. Persist off the top rope. Let's go. Wow, called shot. Called shot. Look at that. Trigger. And our opponent has conceded the game. You'll love to see it. Boom. Game 3. I don't think we need to change anything here. I'm just going to resubmit. Okay. This hand is insane. This is probably the best possible hand I could open against Reanimator. Or with Reanimator versus Burn. Wow, this is actually just nuts. So we have turn 1 Fatal Push, into turn 2 Collective Brutality, into turn 3 Reanimate Archon. That's pretty solid. They're fetching using the Bloodstained Mire. And another benefit of this is that the Collective Brutality actually clears out Path to Exile to protect the Archon of Cruelty. They attack with the Guide. Triggers. Arid Mesa off the top. We're not going to play the Arid Mesa because I actually want to get the basic Swamp here. Try to save a little bit of life. It's really wild for me playing this matchup with this hand. I am so used to just playing decks in this format that cannot beat Burn to save their life. And here, I just opened up on the nuts against Burn, so just taking all of this in, is this what it's like to have a decent Burn matchup? I don't know, but it feels pretty good at the moment. And I'm just going to... Ooh, I could... Hold on. Is that better? I could just go to cleanup and discard the Archon of Cruelty. Okay, I'm going to choose not to do that. We saw Path to Exile in Game 2. And I want to clear the way with the Collective Brutality. I want to make sure that I'm not going to lose this game to Path. We will pass the turn. Inspiring Vantage. Cool. Eidolon of the Great, who gives up? You know, word I'm not going to say on YouTube. Okay. Fetch. Grab this mountain. 3 modes. Hiya. Hiya. And hiya. Discard this Archon of Cruelty and... land 4, I think. Doesn't really matter which one. This will trigger. And then Collective Brutality will resolve. Another Eidolon, Searing Blaze. Let's get rid of this Boros Charm, I guess. The other Eidolon is really funny because, like, they're likely to play it out only to get wrecked by the Persist with Archon of Cruelty. They play the Arid Mesa. They play the Eidolon, just walked right into my my trick. Draw. Play this tapped. Persist back my Archon. I love beating Burn. This is the best. Okay, Archon will trigger. They sacrifice their Eidolon. You hate to see it. Just such a tragedy. That card going to the graveyard where it belongs, you know. Boo-hoo. And our opponent has conceded the game! We've done it! Wow! We win over Reanimator. So good. So good. If you enjoyed this round, stick around for the rest. Match number 2 will be coming up in just a moment. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Okay, match 2 on the play. Keep. Well, my opponent just straight up left the match. I guess we're 2-0. I didn't even update our record from the first one, but what a weird experience. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't control our opponent just joining the match, seeing my username and leaving. you know, the benefits of having your username, I guess. Anyway, match number 3 coming up. I'm sorry. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Let's try playing some more Magic. We're on the play for match number 3. I don't think this gets the job done, mulligan. Sure. I mean, I don't love this, but I think it's fine enough. Just play the lounge, I think, past the turn. Botanical Sanctum? Oh no, Living End, my worst nightmare. I hate this deck so much. I really do. Every time I get paired against it, like, the inner rage within me starts building. I thought about building it for a hot second, and then decided that I'm a better person than that. What to do? Another creativity. I mean, might as well play Hard Evidence, I guess. Mana Confluence, that's spicy. Play Cycle Street Wraith. And pass the turn. I do have 4 copies of Leyline of the Void in the board that will definitely be coming in here. Draw. Hey, we hit land 3. Opponent did not cycle there. They have land 3. They play a Grief. You've got it. Literally everything. Yeah, sure. Now your Cascade spell, and I'll lose my entire hand. Getting ready to concede. There you go. Alright. That was a quick one. Got manhandled. Going to game 2. So we definitely want these copies of Leyline of the Void. Duress, Dispute, Bluster. Basically, all the removal in the deck needs to come out. They're just not good in this matchup. I also think that Fable's not really what we want to be doing. It's just really slow, and the creature doesn't matter. The looting, like, everything about it I think is pretty bad. Probably take out these Fire Ices. So the question is, do you want something like Collector Brutality? I don't think you do. Only hitting instants or sorceries against the deck that's mostly pitch elementals and Force of Negation isn't really where you want to be. So I'm going to try this out. On the play for game number 2. Holy Leyline of the Void, Batman. Do we keep this, though? I mean, I guess so. Double Leyline's going to be tough for them to interact with. The issue is I only have 1 land. Pass the turn. So the reason double Leyline is good is typically their answers are things like Adawara. They're not likely to board in something like Force of Vigor against me. Another copy of Persist. We have to pass the turn here. Or something like Besage You. But if they Besage You my Leyline, I'm getting another land. So that's actually sort of a win. I'm just mentioning that because you might think, why put both into play when you have like looting effects? I think this is actually just the correct play overall. They cycle, or well, I guess it's technically not a cycle. Channel Waker of Waves? Is that channel? No, it's just discard. Okay. I mean, channel, discard, effectively the same thing. I do like the innovation in our opponent's list to play Mana Confluence. I think that's actually fairly smart. Draw. Hey, land 2. Love to see it. My crab is going to stay back on D. They're going to take some damage here. Endurance. Sure. They're going the beatdown route. 6 cards in hand. It's a grief. Curator of Mysteries. Yeah, I can't really do a whole lot about that. I guess I'll block. Save some damage here. I'm actually going to get the basic swamp here to, once again, save on a little bit of damage. Looking for an Archon of Cruelty to persist back. Did not hit. So I have to discard a card. I think we get rid of Persist 3. I just don't need it. Draw. Duress. I'm just going to pass and hold up Prismari Command. I need the loot. We'll take 7 going to 12. Watery Grave. That's an odd one. Alright, well, let's cast this, and we want to make a treasure and draw 2 discard. Prismari Command. They have 5. I guess by doing this on the opponent's turn, I left myself open to Mystical Dispute. That said, in my head, the reason why I didn't cast a main phase was Force of Negation. Technically, they always play 4 copies of Force of Negation. I don't know if they boarded them out or not, but Mystical Disputes usually like are 2 of, sometimes a 3 of. Does this command resolve? It looks like it is. Another Persist. Jeez. Maybe I discard 2 Persist? No, I'm going to get rid of the Fluster, I think. We're just past the point of that card being relevant. Another land. Duress. See what they're working with here. They did have a Force of Negation. They get a Scry off the Curator. Another Hard Evidence. Pass the turn. Who knew that it would be this difficult to find an Archon? But even if I find one at this point, I have to figure out how to get it to the graveyard. Block. So maybe I'm actually just looking for creativity right now? I don't have 3 mountains for the Dwarven Mine. Or else that could come into play untapped. So maybe getting the swamp was foolish. Alright, we're at 5. Draw a card. Tainted Indulgence. Come on, Archon, please. So if I fetch down to 4, I'm dead to the Curator in the air. Indulgence? Wow. Oh, I'm dead. I lost to the beatdown plan. We went over 33% of the way through our deck without finding an Archon. Or a creativity. Pretty sure there's no line for me here. I'm just dead to the Curator of Mysteries. Okay, we got crushed. That's for sure. We are now 2-1. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Alright, match 4, we're on the draw. Our opponent has already taken a mulligan. I'm going to keep this. So my initial impression of this hand was snap mulligan. That said, this hand actually does everything we want. So we get to lead on a Thoughtseize. We have a bunch of mountains which can activate our Dwarven Mines to make creatures for creativity. We can cast creativity for 2. We have it all wrapped up for the most part. And by wrapped up, I mean like we have a hand that accomplishes our game plan. Not that we're going to win. I mean, I'd like to win. I just don't want to jinx it. I'm going to sit on this Thoughtseize a little bit, though. I want to, you know, get a look at more cards, I guess, is what I'm really trying to do here. I could have just played it. It looks like they're on Merfolk. But I wanted to just hold it for a little while. Cavern of Souls. Tide Shaper. And they kicked it. My land will become an island. Sort of a jerk move. That's how life is, though. Ouch. Thought sees you. Holy Hexcatcher, Batman. Guess we take the Master. Pass the turn. So the reason I'm taking the Master of the Pearl Trident here is I'm looking to... I guess they're both lords. Maybe I should have taken the Vulcan Hexcatcher. They don't play Hexcatcher? What? Okay. Yeah, I think I was actually supposed to take the Hexcatcher. That was a mistake on my part. Did not need another land. Thought sees you. I think I'm actually going to lose this. They have Dismember. Yeah, and it might be the not discarding the Hexcatcher that's going to do it. This is a bummer. Come on. I guess if I draw what is it called? Why can't I think of the name of it now? The command. Prismari command. There we go. I could target the Hexcatcher and then go to 1. Didn't need this. Alright. We lost to the mulligan to 5. Merfolk just came out of the gate swinging. Really got me there. Ay, ay, ay. I guess Fire Ice would have been a really good draw there, too. Bring in Lightning Bolt. Brutalities. Is Fable what I want in this matchup? It's like Fable versus Thoughtseize to me, and I feel like Thoughtseize is actually fine. Could also try boarding out the Teen Indulgence. Let's do that. Okay, game 2 on the play. Let's try this out. Ouch. We will quickly go to 16 life and cast this Thoughtseize. Oh, so your hand needs this Aether Vial, huh? Zoink! Island. Pass. Draw. Pass the turn back. Ooh, they found the second land. That's a bummer. Silvergill. I'm just gonna go get my Triome. Draw. It's a good one. Ouch. Let's play the Fable. Breaking so many mirrors. Unlicensed Hearse, okay. So I'm off the Persist plan then. I'm going to discard Persist to the Fable. Yes, discard and... land 4. Okay. Let's push the Adept. Get in there. They have a Harbinger of the Tides. I think I'm supposed to tap their land in their upkeep. Sure, you can remove some cards. Fetch. Let's go get the Dwarven Mine. 1/1 beats. Always yield. And then, whoa, cancel, cancel. I want ice. And then we're going to tap the island. Prevent the opponent from casting one of their millions of 2-drops in their hand. Unless they have a flash creature. The Harbinger costs 2 more to cast if you play with flash. They're going to dismember here. Okay. Killing the dwarf token. Good deal. I consider that to be a victory. Command. That takes care of the hearse pretty well. Another Aether Vial. I don't know if this one's as relevant at this point. They're at 14. Draw. The Fable will transform into Reflection of Kiki. I guess I should tap a little bit differently. Okay. So I want to do Destroy Target Artifact and then Loot. Cool. Archon, we're really close to hard casting. So I could play land 5, 6. That gives me 7 this turn. Next turn I attack, I can hard cast it. Okay. Let's get in there with the Goblin Shaman. In their upkeep, let's fetch. We'll grab another blue source here. Ouch. And we will cast Ice once again on the island. Bring me back to my youth, where this was a very common play. Another Dismember, sure. We drew a land. Feeling pretty good about this Archon of Cruelty at the moment. Draw. Let's get in there with the Goblin Shaman. Hiya. They go to 6. Let's go search out another Dwarven Mine. And then we can hardcast the Archon. Costs 8 mana, so we even have a spare treasure. We're playing around days, right? That's what we'll say we're doing here? Okay. We picked up game number 2. Now for game 3. On the draw versus Merfolk. I think we just hit submit. Is that sweet? Yeah, this hand is nuts. Keep. We need to find land 3, but it has everything else we want. Turn 1 Island Aether Vial. Classic opener. Creativity. We didn't need another clunky card here. I'm sorry. Need to find land 3. Cavern of Souls. Naming Merfolk. Surprise, surprise. Interesting. It looks like they're just going to pass the turn. Which probably means that they just have Hexcatcher. We'll fetch, go get our Triome. Come on, land 3, please. Draw. Hard Evidence. Play the Hard Evidence, I guess. The reason to cast the Hard Evidence here is that I can use it to draw into possible land 3 next turn. If they want to counter this, feel free. That's a Tide Shaper. Cool. Master of the Pearl Trident. They have 3 cards in hand. I go to 17. Draw. Not land 3. Ugh. I'm going to attempt to Fatal Push the Hexcatcher here. That resolved. Love to see it. Should I try to push the other? Yeah, I think so, because if they have like a Spell Pierce or something, I don't want to get got. So let's just play this now. They have 3 cards in hand. Lord of Atlantis. Still 3 cards. 2 cards left. We will go to 15 with this attack. They do not put another Lord into play. There's passing. It's technically a land, even though it's tapped. They activate the vial. Okay. This draws cards if I remember correctly. It's indestructible as long as you control 2 other merfolk. Whenever it attacks, draw a card. Other merfolk you control have ward 1. So they're attacking for 6 this turn, so I'll go to 9. I'm actually pretty close to death here. And I can't block because I have an island. So depending on what the 3 cards they have in hand, I could be dead because I missed that 3rd land drop. If I draw Thoughtseize, I could Thoughtseize myself into Archon. That would be good. Bolt. 2 cards in hand. Their creatures have word 1, so there's no point in me trying to kill them. So I can play Prismari Command to draw 2, make a treasure. But it's easier to counter with like Hexcatcher or something else. Or I can play Fable, but Fable doesn't actually block here. Their creatures have Island Walk. So I think I'm supposed to play the Prismari Command, but if it gets countered, I'm probably just dead. Alright, we want to draw 2 and make a treasure. Wow, it actually resolved. Discard the Archon of Cruelty and Fable. I was hoping to hit land 4 there because then I could bolt to buy time, but I think I'm just dead now. If they have anything else, I'm dead. Okay, no unstep creature. The vials can go up here. What would they have gone up to 4 for? Like Master Waves? So this actually puts me to 3 life. So if they had a Lord here, it would put me to 1. Alright, I'm at 3. Silvergill Adept. And they reveal another one of this creature. Okay. Land for turn. Now they have 3 cards in hand. We know that one of them is this creature. I need this Persist to resolve. We saw Dismember in the first 2 games, so there's a chance it's Dismember. Another Lord. Wow. Okay. That's not good for me. Persist back the Archon. This will put me up to 6 life. Triggers. Really hoping they sacrifice this because they have another one in hand. That could give me a really good window here. They sacrifice the Adept. Can I do anything or am I just dead? So I can bolt a Lord of Atlantis, but then they still have lethal, I believe. Well, this is other merfolk you control have Island Walk. Hold on, we might have a line here. Lightning Bolt, Lord of Atlantis. Pay the 1. So I would go to 1 life at the moment. Which means I can't Thoughtseize, but there's a chance we get to live. File triggers happen. They're in beginning of combat. So they can't cast a normal creature here. Ooh, so they get the draw though. So if they have something with Vial, I'm dead. And it looks like they do. Another Lord of Atlantis, that's going to do it. Alright, so we're going to fall to 2 and 2 here. And they did have the Dismember all along. Alright, so we were... Actually, the Dismember, I figured out So, assuming they didn't have Lord of Atlantis, I could block here, go to 1 life, untap, and play Creativity. That said, we're dead. It doesn't matter. So we're now 2 and 2, 1 match left to go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final round, we are on the draw. I'm going to keep this. I was thinking about my losses, and this is going to sound ludicrous, and I completely understand that. I wonder if Fable the Mirrorbreaker is actually what this deck wants. It just feels like this deck is a little clunky, and cutting them for something that's just smaller but less ideal might be better. So like Fable's nice because it gives you a looting and a creature token for creativity. But what if like you just don't need both in one card? Like what if you get one card that's slightly smaller but better off for you? And I think that's really interesting. So I'd be interested to see how No Fables potentially goes. And we're facing Dredge. Okay, well I guess Narcomoeba down. Pass the turn. They dredge. Mana Confluence. Flashing back that otherworldly gaze. Okay. Draw. Pass the turn. They have the choice of dredging here, and it looks like they will not do it. So there's a chance the top of their deck was like Cathartic Reunion or something along those lines. Look at that. I'm a genius, clearly. And that gave them a lot of fuel right there. And now with the Narcomoeba coming into play, the Amalgams will trigger. I'm just going to push now. It doesn't matter. Yikes. 9 power in play. Creativity. I don't know if that's going to be fast enough. Play a Fable. Pass the turn. They have the Ox of Agonis here too. Did they take a real draw? They did. That's interesting. Block can go to 6. Land 3. Like I mentioned, they have the Ox of Agonis here. Yep. 1 chill. Okay. That does it. We're in fact dead. Wow. Okay. That hurt my feelings a little bit. But like you see there, the Fable is just so clunky. I really feel like there's probably something better we could be playing. Like, I think everything else in this deck makes sense, but like, you have Prismari Command. Do we really need Fable and the Mirror Breaker? Like, they're just similar roles. I think the command is better for what we're trying to do here. It also controls the board a little bit. Bring in the ley lines. Get rid of Thoughtseize. We don't need Fatal Push. Cluster is okay because it counters Reunion. I don't know if that's worthwhile, though. Like, I don't know. Our sideboard has a lot of removal and discard in it, which just, like, aren't good in this particular matchup. I could try bringing in Emrakul. I just don't know if that's really what we want to be doing. Sure, I guess I can say that I boarded it in once, even though I'm not even sure if it's good in this matchup. Probably not good in this matchup if you think about it. Because they just have a bunch of creatures that recur. Yeah, I'll leave it. Why not? On the play for game 2. This is what I'm talking about. These cards are just like so clunky. What's mulligan? I want to try to find the ley lines. Well, there they are. We have ley line. Keep bottom one of them. And I think once again I'm going to put them both into play. Just make it more difficult for the opponent to answer them. Pass the turn. City of Brass. Well, we have an Archon. We still need to find land 3. Haggle, sure. Land number 2. Otherworldly Gaze. Land 3, please. Nope. Just another clunky card we can't use. Pass the turn. Tear. So they did have an answer to Leyline, but we have 2 of them. Otherworldly Gaze again. Draw. Boo. Thrilling Discovery. Conflagrate Stinkweed Imp. Draw again. Deck hates me. Another Otherworldly Gaze, okay. Gemstone Mine, 3 cards in hand. Cathartic Reunion. Draw again. Would you look at that? We finally found land 3. Gonna do some damage here. Blood Crypt, yes. Play Fable. We have a Goblin Shaman now. That's a plus. They're Hardcasting Merchant. Sure thing. Draw. Another Fable. Yes, discard, discard. I might be able to... I have a 50-50 chance of putting Emrakul onto the table right now. Okay. Let's see if we can do it. Can we make it happen? That's an Emmy. We have fortunately won game number 2. We gave them a lot of time to come back there. Gonna take the Emrakul out and board in a Duress. I think protecting my ley line from a discard from an answer spell will be more important. Obviously can't keep this. I want to keep this, but part of me thinks that I shouldn't. I don't have a blue source, and that's the big thing. Going to 5. No ley line here. It's also not a good hand. So now we're on 4. I think it's this. Alright, can my Mulligan to 4 get the job done? Gemstone Mine. Pass the turn, draw. Tainted Indulgence. No Wear Tear. Thrilling Discovery. I'm just going to go get my Triome. 3 cards have entered exile. Okay. Pass the turn. Otherworldly Gaze. Beautiful. Firebluff Canal. And another Thrilling Discovery. Sweet. Let's play the Tainted Indulgence. Get rid of the Hard Evidence, I think. Tough call. Fluster. Fable the Mirror Breaker. They have 6 cards in hand. They found the Wear Tear. That's a bummer. If I had held open Fluster, they actually had enough mana to pay for it as well. Okay. And another Otherworldly Gaze. So things are starting to get a little bit scary for us. Persist. Yes. I think we just have to get rid of the Persist here. Okay. Obviously punished. Ay, ay, ay. Get in there. Create a treasure. Indulgence. So that's 5 mana. Next turn we'll have 6. That's still pretty far away. Chill. Really got punished for that Persist choice. I figured with them sacrificing 2 lands, maybe the Flusterstorm would be good. Or like they cast like another Reunion or Thrilling Discovery and I could fluster it. I should protect this. I thought that they were just going to play the Ox of Agonis here. Draw. Another Tainted Indulgence. Let's get in there. So they should have 2 amalgams coming back on their turn. Blue, black, Indulgence. Need to pass the turn. They have 20 cards left in deck. 15 now. Okay, I'm going to deal 2 damage and draw 2, discard 2. Hit the ghoul. We'll draw 2, discard. We hit Persist, finally. Okay, so Leyline can get out of here. It's not relevant at this point in the game anymore. Okay. And I'm not going to block because I can copy Archon of Cruelty next turn. Assuming that I do get another turn. There's 2 chills in exile already, so I can't die to that. Ox of Agonis. Them hitting the Narcomoebas is sort of a bummer. Because now they have creatures to sacrifice to the Archon of Cruelty. I'm going to go to 3 life and they'll go to 26. I might not have enough to get the job done here. Yeah, I think I might actually be dead. Let's bring back the Archon. Creativity, we didn't need that. So I can create another Archon, which can gain 6 life. Make an Archon. Indulgence. So now we attack. This triggers. We'll go up to 12. We'll probably just sacrifice a ghoul here. Play this event's tapped. Do I live? So I can block the Ox of Agonis here, block an Amalgam, take 9. So I go to 3. What a final game of this league. Fable's at least doing work for once. That's nice. They're going to, in their upkeep, flashback Otherworldly Gaze, so they can look at their entire deck right now. They put them all on top. They cast another copy of Otherworldly Gaze. Put all 3 on top, sure. They're likely to swing out here. Block. Block. We'll take 9. Going to 3, and then we went on our turn. And the opponent concedes. We've done it. We have got the Pity Trophy, the 3-2. How about that? Okay, so let's look at the deck list one more time. I know that I complained a lot this league about the deck list being clunky. I still feel like that's true. Fable came up twice as being okay. I wonder if maybe these aren't supposed to be Prismari commands. Maybe there isn't charms, or I don't have the perfect answer for you. But I think this deck just has too many cards that are costly between Creativity, Archon, and these two. So maybe you just play Is It Charm or some sort of other interaction in the slot that's a little bit lower to the ground. Because Persist is really another payoff, and you don't get to cast it very often for 2. So I think that's another way you could look at it. You could also run something like, I don't know, Lightning, what is it called? Deal 5, discard a card, that one, to discard the Archon on 1. Just like, I think the deck wants cheaper interaction in general. Like, there's just too many cards that cost a whole bunch, but this deck was sweet. I would definitely play it again. I would recommend playing it. It was a lot of fun, like, truthfully. I did enjoy playing it. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care, and as always, keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.